Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are St. Louis.
Welcome to Sunday Baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. We are the Sharks. Today the Cardinals are in San Francisco to face the Giants. Go Cards!
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And a gorgeous afternoon here in the Bay Area. Picture perfect for America's pastime. And one of the great settings for the game, AT&T Park. It's the St. Louis Cardinals and the San Francisco Giants in game number 3. And along with Jim Hayes and Tim McCarver, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome to Sunday Baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. The way that this road trip began, Tim, 2 bad losses for the Cardinals. Then they reel off 5 straight. A chance to make it a terrific road trip. And they'll do it with Jaime Garcia on the mound.
But behind a guy who has done a whale of a job this year. And when you think about Jaime Garcia, you think about his fastball. He rarely breaks 91, 92. But guys make outs as though he were a harder thrower. We can't figure him out, and obviously hitters in the National League can't figure him out.
And it'll be Chris Heston, who is throwing a no-hitter this year, the rookie for the Giants, getting the call. And speaking of youth, Kelby Tomlinson, a walk-off hit. That was on Friday. Stephen Piscotty, red hot, the Bay Area native, back in his hometown. We've got baseball. Comes your way next. They are 2 of the best. Yadier Molina on the left, Buster Posey on the right. Both are in their respective lineups here this afternoon. It's the Giants and Cardinals on Fox Sports Midwest. Matt Carpenter will lead it off for St. Louis. And along with Tim McCarver and Jim Hayes, I'm Dan McLaughlin. 67 degrees here at AT&T Park, and a beautiful day for baseball.
Sparkling.
Carpenter leads the club in home runs and RBIs. The leadoff man of St. Louis. He's batting .260. And the first pitch from Heston was fouled back. Chris Heston, a 6'3", 200-pound right-hander from Palm Bay, Florida. The 0-1. Lifted in the air out to deep center. Blanco is back. He'll look up, and it's 1-0 Cardinals. Home run number 20 this year for Matt Carpenter.
The reason that home run was so impressive is that it wasn't to the pull side of center field, but toward left center. Matt Carpenter came into the league as a good hitter, but not a lot of power. And now he's a power guy out of that one hole.
That's a base hit into center for the red-hot Stephen Piscotty.
Can't get him out.
He's now 7 for 9, Tim, in this series.
Can't get him out.
A look at Mike Matheny's lineup. So far, so good. Matt Carpenter, Stephen Piscotty. Yes, he is playing center field today. Then Jason Hayward in right. Molina, Wong, Reynolds, Moss, Greg Garcia at short, and Jaime Garcia on the mound. What a start here for the Cardinals.
Bam, bam.
Peralta, Pham, Borges, and Cosma will come off the bench all right-handed in the bench for Mike Matheny today. Very short lead at first base by Piscotty. And the 1-0.
Most young players who come up the first year especially have tentative leads off first base. May have been even bigger in the minor leagues, but not quite sure of the moves in the majors yet.
It's the 6th time this season that Matt Carpenter has led off a game with a home run. And that's ripped into center and carries over the head of Blanco. Piscotty rounding second, on his way to third. Okenda will wave him in. Hayward on his way to third. And it's 2-0 Cardinals. A triple for Jason Hayward.
Cardinals with their first 3 hitters, a double shy of the cycle. Home run, single, triple. Great base running by Jason Hayward. Here are all 3 base hits. Right out of bed. Matt Carpenter, home run. To a little bit to the left of straightaway center field. Then the hit by Piscotty up the middle on the first pitch. Jason Hayward hits it so hard, a good center fielder freezes in his tracks, and the ball goes over his head. Talk about a ball with a little extra carry. Good base running by being on third.
And he is a good defensive center fielder.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent.
So the infield is drawn in now for the cleanup man, Yadier Molina. Nobody out. Runner at third is Hayward. The Cardinals 4, 5, and 6 in the lineup yesterday. Went 6 for 13 with 3 RBIs. Molina part of that. He had a key 2-out hit that scored 2 runs. 20 home runs this year for Matt Carpenter.
You know, a triple is such an exciting play.
Sure is.
Because you have a chance to see all of the defenders at work. Center fielder frozen on the ball, goes over his head. The shortstop out for the relay. When he received the relay, he doesn't know whether to go home or third. Hayward took advantage of that and ended up at third base.
And that's why I think you said very good base running with him.
Yes, right.
Initially, I thought they would have a play.
Mm-hmm. Had Adrianza come up and thrown to third, maybe a close play, maybe, but he was hesitant about whether to go home or to third base.
On 1-2, it's pulled foul. Cardinals playing in game number 130 here today of the season. Their 106th different lineup used. All different kind of combinations this year because of the injuries. The 1-2. Put in play by Molina. A swinging bunt. It's rolling, and will it stay fair? It is a foul ball. You can see Heston swipe at it. He is frustrated right now.
Every reason in the world to be angry. This ball just going foul. Once it hits the dirt, it usually does if it has enough oomph on it, and it did.
He has been very good here at home, a 2.48 ERA. And that was just his third home run allowed here at AT&T Park in 12 starts. Infield in and a 1-2 pitch. Something to watch today, really on both sides, would be ground balls. When Heston is right, it's a lot of ground balls. 68% ground ball percentage this year, and that's 5th highest in baseball. The 2-2. And that's a base hit into center. 4 consecutive hits to start the afternoon, and a 3-run lead for the Cardinals.
But, Dan, my friend, some ground balls are hit so hard they find holes. Piscotty first, and Molina with an RBI base hit.
Could not ask for a better start here in game number 3.
Yeah, when your pitching coach is out after 4 hitters, you know there's trouble a-brewing.
At last check, the Rockies leading Pittsburgh 5-0 in the 8th inning. The Pirates starting play today 3.5 back of St. Louis. Chicago 9.5 back. Home run, a single to center. Hayward, a triple to center. Molina base hit to center. 4 consecutive hits and a 3-run lead, and still nobody out. And here's Colton Wong. Let's take a look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal for Chris Heston. Again, a lot of ground balls. And already the Giants have George Contos throwing in the pen.
Talking to Mike Krukow before the game and asking about Chris Heston, he said the reason he was sent down last week, his stuff was lazy. It means the breaking ball is rolling, the sinker's flat. That appears to be the case today. Mike, of course, the very, very good announcer for the San Francisco Giants. 1 of 4. There's Mike on the right, Dwayne Kuiper on the left.
Very popular here in San Francisco.
Gosh, I'll say. Great guys.
The 2-0 pitch. Wong pulls it foul. And when he went to the minor leagues, talking about Chris Heston, the idea was just to shut him down, let him get a little breather mentally and physically. 5 runs allowed in the first inning in his previous 24 starts. He's failed to complete the 5th inning in 3 of his last 4 starts. As Wong pops it back in foul.
I mean, you're talking about a guy who at Citi Field against the Mets earlier pitched the Giants' 17th no-hitter.
I would say that he has saved their season in many ways too. Talking about
with
Heston.
11 wins, sure.
The Giants actually released him in 2013 to clear room for Jeff Francoeur. Wasn't picked up by anybody, and then signed a minor league deal to come back to the Giants. Pitched at the tail end of last year. So in many ways, he's come from nowhere to save them and give them the 20+ starts, and as you mentioned, a decent record. A 3-2 pitch to Colton Wong. Double play ball. 6-4-3 on the double play. The Giants have committed just 1 error in their last 13 games. Dobbs, Tire and Auto Center's defense. Aoki in left, Blanco in center, Bird is in right. Duffy, Adrianza, Tomlinson, and Belt along the infield. and the former MVP Buster Posey behind the plate. Here's Mark Reynolds riding a 6-game hitting streak. You think about that Mets lineup earlier in the year to what they have now, it's a different looking team.
Oh, no question.
The 1-0 pitch.
The only guy you have to add to that lineup, Yoenis Cespedes, with 3 home runs over the last, in one game in the last 10 days. I forgot, I think it was in Colorado, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Washington is 5.5 back as Reynolds hits it in the air to deep right. And the catch made by Marlon Byrd. All smiles early on for St. Louis. 4 consecutive hits to start the game. Half inning in the books. And already a 3-run lead. Get here. Banged up club. Aoki, Duffy, and Belt, followed by Posey. Did not play in game 2. Then Marlon Byrd, Kelby Tomlinson, Blanco, Adrianza, and the pitcher Chris Heston. On the bench, 4 players. Brandon Crawford, who was out taking ground balls today, so that's a step in the right direction. Then Juan Perez, Andrew Susac, Justin Maxwell from the right side. Jaime Garcia getting the call today for the Cardinals.
We talked about Heston and him being sent down because of lazy stuff. Well, Jaime Garcia, just the opposite. His stuff, the last 10 feet, just unreadable, particularly from the right-hand side.
I've talked to the Cardinals catchers, and they talk about the last 10 feet, as you mentioned, being so hard to figure out where the ball will wind up in the glove because of late movement. Very tough to catch, they talk about.
When a guy with great hands like Molina can't catch it cleanly often, that gives you an idea, knowing what's coming, that the ball's moving late.
And you would think, you know, a guy like Rosenthal or Segrist, these hard throwers sometimes can be the hardest to catch, and that's not necessarily the case.
No, that's true.
0-2 the count on Nori Aoki, hitting .292, 5 home runs, 26 RBIs. Carpenter backs up just a step or 2 behind the bag at third after playing in, anticipating a potential bunt. Steven Piscotty getting the start in center field here today. First ever major league start in center. There's a diving stop by Carpenter. The throw is offline. Aoki is aboard. A look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal for Jaime Garcia.
Yeah, and Dan, it's really deceptive. That sinker, again, late movement, the four-seamer the same way, exploding in the strike zone when he's right, and he's been right most of the year. Occasional slider, change up, a good one.
was interesting. You don't see many center fielders when they're starting taking ground balls at first before the game. And that was the case today as they were working with Stephen Piscotty. There's a strike to the second place hitter, Matt Duffy.
Ground balls at first and a start in center.
He did start 3 games at Memphis this year. He's played in a total of 4. And the last time he played in center field was June. Drafted, by the way, as a third baseman.
Not only that, but in this ballpark.
Yes.
The toughest center field in baseball to play defensively.
Makes you think that Hayward probably still nursing that sore hamstring and leg. You know, certainly he could play center. Double play ball. There's Garcia, who's at short. The flip by Wong. 4-6-3 double play off the bat of Duffy. The Cardinals defense with Brandon Moss in left, Piscotty, he's in center, Jason Hayward in right, Carpenter, Garcia, Wong, and Reynolds along the infield, Molina behind the plate. And that's presented by Dobbs. Double plays part of this story, what has been a very good road trip for the Cardinals. Here's Brandon Belt hitting .277, and the first pitch a ball.
In some of the great restaurants in the world in this area, and this double play was made to order. Nice.
Better not tell that to Jim Hayes.
Oh, gotta tell that. I mean, you gotta say that.
Belting, base hit into right. You were all over Jimmy today.
I was all over Jimmy. In one of the great restaurant towns in the world, Jim Hayes has takeout last night. Takeout.
You can't do that, is what you're telling me.
He was tired. You just cannot do that in San Francisco.
You're all over him.
He should be fined. Modest fine to charity.
You fine him, and I'll make sure and get the money. I'll collect.
Be the hatchet man.
Here's Buster Posey. Hitting .313, 16 home runs, 80 driven in. Off the end of the bat, that will drop. It's a base hit. Piscotty was playing very deep in center. Runners at the corners with 2 down.
I was thinking the same thing. There's kind of a defensive way of playing a defensive position when you're too deep. But in this ballpark, you do not have to be that deep. And, of course, first start in center field is here in the major leagues. This ball normally would be caught. Thing about center field, you try to position yourself where most of the balls are going to be hit. And most balls are going to be hit in front of you instead of over your head.
So with 2 on, tying run will come to the plate. Marlon Byrd had the grand slam in game 1. Byrd turns 38 today. This is the 4th time that he's been traded in season. 9th big league team. Also a happy birthday to Adam Wainwright, who is 32 and on the trip. Excuse me, 34. 34. And he's here too. The 0-1. Bird said something interesting the other day. He said, I want to be a gap hitter, not worry about home runs. Well, he's in the right division and the right ballpark to think that way. A lot of spacious center fields, these ballparks in the National League West. Adam has his charity event at the ballpark coming up on Friday. Will we see him pitch this year? That's a big question right now surrounding the Cardinals.
There is any hint of a reoccurrence, the answer is no.
In the air, down the right field line, slicing, and that ball is a fair ball off the wall. 2 runs will score. The throw to the plate is offline.
Marlon Byrd, playing umpire and not running hard to first base, ends up only at second. Buster Posey, however, did not suffer that same plight. Marlon thought the ball was foul. You can't be the umpire and hit 2. If you want to be an umpire, come back as one. Almost lucky that he made it to second. Had Hayward come up and thrown to second, perhaps they have a play. Understandably, he went home.
Such a tough right field.
Yes, it is.
Kelby Tomlinson is at the plate. If Byrd is hustling out of the box, most certainly he's at third. If it hits the brick, which it almost did, who knows?
Excellent point.
It hit the fencing, which deadened it just enough.
You mentioned it last night in the All-Star game several years ago. Ichiro Suzuki with the first inside the park home run here at AT&T. In the All-Star game, no less.
The 2-0 pitch to Kelby Tomlinson is a strike. Garcia has 6 career starts against San Francisco. His ERA is just over 2. He's never pitched under 6 innings against San Francisco. He has had their number coming into this start. The 2-1. Hit to Carpenter, who is playing in. Low throw on the pick by Reynolds. He's done a very nice job defensively this year for the Birds. 3-2 after 1 inning of play. By Budweiser, make a plan to make it home. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealers for great prices on our all-new 2015 vehicles today. Brandon Moss digs in. He tripled and scored yesterday, playing in his 24th game with the St. Louis Cardinals. An aspect of his game that has been good in St. Louis is drawing walks. Nearly half the games he's played in, he's drawn a walk. So while the hits and the power hasn't quite been there, 1 home run thus far as a Cardinal.
I won a game in Arizona the other night, 5-3, and that triple ignited a 4-run inning in yesterday's game.
And a high strike. Eric Cooper, the crew chief, calling the balls and strikes. Sam Holbrook is at first. Trip Gibson at second. Gabe Morales is down at third. And the 3-1. 3-2. Neither one of these teams shift all that much. The Giants in the bottom third. And the Cardinals close to being the fewest. That's well in. Center field. At the wall, and it is caught. Gregor Blanco, tremendous catch in center field. Does that sum up Brandon Moss right now as a Cardinal?
Yeah, he's hit a lot of balls hard, those Adam balls. But what made that a particularly difficult play for Blanco was he's a left-handed thrower, and it was over his left shoulder. And it's a lot tougher to go across your body when you're running toward the wall, not knowing where it is, than the other way.
Strike two, Greg Garcia. When Matt Cain threw his perfect game at this ballpark, it was Gregor Blanco that came up with an unbelievable catch, diving in right center on the track to save that historic night. And the 0-2.
You may remember back in 2012 when the Giants swept the Detroit Tigers in the World Series. Gregor Blanco played left field and made some dazzling catches. He was a center fielder playing left.
Garcia, shallow center. Blanco is there. He's playing in. Two outs, and it brings in the pitcher Jaime Garcia, hitting .071 this year.
Well, it seems like a world of baseball has already happened, and we're not in the top, not out of the top of the second yet.
Some great catches.
Yeah.
Different looking lineup for the Cardinals. The triple, the home run. Two for 28 this season for Garcia. We talk about Heston saving the Giants this year. What about Jaime Garcia and his addition? What it has meant to this rotation and the franchise to get him healthy. That's a fair ball, and Belt will step on the bag. So 1-2-3 inning. Midway through two, it's 3-2 St. Louis. out, and Jim Hayes has more on the injury that we saw yesterday. Jimmy.
Yeah, he twisted his ankle, Dan, trying to field a ground ball yesterday. He told me today the ankle is still a little sore, but he remains confident that he'll be able to make his next start, which is Friday. Lance got some treatment, kept the swelling down, and says he's having no trouble getting around. In a line he borrowed from John Lackey, Lance said the ankle is a long way from the heart. That's the line of the day, Dan, unless you and Tim decide to go after me again for getting takeout.
Well, I just was reporting what I knew from last night. You may want to direct that anger that you have apparently at Tim. Not me, Jim. I wouldn't do that.
Look, I had a takeout cheeseburger. It was delicious. Then I got a little sleep. What's wrong with that?
All right. Even John Miller, who's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, great.
He was even giving you trouble. The Giants broadcaster.
Oh, great.
Probably on the Giant airwaves.
Mm-hmm. And so Jimmy, the sideline reporter, decided to have takeout in one of the great towns in San Francisco. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, Tim, how are you?
Oh, that's great.
So tell me about Piscotty. There's a breaking ball, and that's taken high. It's great to come out here because of the setting, but we get the chance to visit with some people we really enjoy being around, like the great John Miller.
Absolutely.
It swung on and missed.
So much fun.
Takeout? I mean, how could you do that?
Oh, you've got him. Nailed it. That's wonderful. What
John
a job
Miller.
he does, and what a voice, and what a presentation.
Awesome.
Unbelievable.
Presentation.
Like no other.
Imitations, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Vince Scully and
yeah.
just a great personality in this great game.
About 10 years ago, I came out here. I worked 25 games for the Giants replacing John, but at a dinner earlier in the year, he imitated Vince Scully in Japanese.
Oh, my goodness.
It was unbelievable.
Backhanded by Reynolds. He'll take it himself and gets the out.
Oh, boy.
Let's take a look at our Toyota keys to the game with Tim McCarver.
Cardinals hoping to make it a happy trip. That was their mantra back in, well, the trip, make it a happy flight. You're pointing that out. I mean, I said trip, it's the same thing. I mean, they're not going by train back to St. Louis. Play tomorrow night. Come on. Dan is up here pointing things out like, make it a happy flight as opposed to make it a happy trip. So it's the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
And there's a strike to Adrianza.
Who originated that back in 2011?
Rafael Furcal.
Rafael Furcal.
Picked up from the Dodgers.
What a professional he was for a lot of years.
We get all these printouts about what an individual does against a particular pitcher. Every single game I looked at it, Rafael Furcal hit about 300 against everyone in the league. It was unbelievable.
For consistency.
Yes. Switch hitter, good player. There's a ground ball that's hit to second. Long to his right. And there's two down. And it brings in Chris Heston.
Baseball almost has a way of sedating itself. A wild first inning, 5 runs, and now 5 straight outs in the second. Cardinals going in order, 2 down for the Giants.
First pitch to Heston. And a ground ball that's hit to Matt Carpenter. And the stretch by Reynolds. 1, 2, 3 go the Giants. We head to the third. St. Louis on top. Is brought to you by Budweiser, Menards, and your local Chevy dealers. There's a look at the Washington University Alumni Association. 150 alumni here to take in the Cardinals and the San Francisco Giants. WashU, one of the great institutions in our country. And the first pitch is taken for a ball by Matt Carpenter. Carpenter homered back in the first, and the last leadoff man to lead his club in home runs and RBIs, which is what Matt has done this year thus far, was Jimmy Rollins, former shortstop of the Phillies and their former MVP. Back in 2012, he had 23 home runs, 68 RBIs, so Carpenter has surpassed him in the RBI total with 69. Jimmy, a fabulous player, now with the Dodgers and reunited with Chase Utley.
A borderline Hall of Fame.
3-0 pitch. 3-1. Is Utley borderline Hall of Fame as well?
Nah, I don't think as much.
He talked about it at least. I think so.
Maybe. Nah, I don't know.
Close.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Think about it on the plane trip and let you know later.
Be waiting for that tomorrow. Can't wait. His Blanco puts it away. So Carpenter is 1 for 2. And after the double play off the bat of Wong, Heston is settled in. 5 in a row after the double play. And here's Stephen Piscotty.
One thing that stands out about Stephen, not only his hitting, but his first ball hitting.
Flies out to left.
He's up there hacking. If it's a good pitch, go for it.
On the road, traveling, and want to watch your Cardinals. Subscribe to MLB.TV Premium for live or on demand on over 400 devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Cardinals won the ball game yesterday. And the Giants don't lose very often here at home here in the second half. They've won 16 of their last 20 here at AT&T. They started the year 16 and 18 at home. We've been talking about it, the electric atmosphere that the fan base provides today. The 392nd sellout of the last few seasons, going back to the 10th of October. And Jason Hayward has himself a double. So a triple and a double for Jason Hayward, who was a home run away from the cycle a week ago against San Diego.
That pitch away, he did not try to pull it. You know, when a left-handed batter, consider this. Here's a pitcher with a ball that tails away from him. When you hit the ball the other way, what you're actually doing is you're allowing the fat part of the bat, where the bat should make contact in that sweet part, to hit it the other way. If you try to pull it, you're hitting it on the end of the bat, and you play pepper with the second baseman. You don't want to do that.
And that is a fair ball inside the first base line, just like Hayward. Changes spots with Jason. Molina, his second RBI. He has a single, a double, and the Cardinals lead this ball game 4-2. So you were saying
a replica hit by Molina. First it was Hayward going with the tailing fastball down the third base line. A left-handed hitter, of course. Watch the tailing fastball. Fat part of the bat, up a little bit, double for Hayward. First pitch to Molina, a ball away, fat part of the bat, double down the right field line. That's nice.
Bruce Bochy checking to make sure that, I guess he felt that was not a fair ball as he was down visiting with Sam Holbrook.
We were trying to concentrate on the swing on Molina. To tell you the truth, I didn't even see where the ball landed. There's a glare on that right field line. This is the best angle we have. There's the ball right there. It hits on the line, and I think Bruce's argument was that it had tailed away from first base into foul territory before it got to the bag. Don't know. Close.
Very close. Molina, I expect to go the other way. Hayward, you don't see it as much. And that was one of the real concerns with Jason Hayward coming into this season. One, facing lefties. And two, a lot of ground balls that he would roll over, as you talked about, playing pepper with the second baseman. Good way to put it.
Yeah,
that's what he was doing.
It's always a good sign when a guy like Hayward, who's had a tough time pulling the ball and hitting the ball to second base a lot, to come out and hit a ball to center field and then a ball to left field if he hits them hard. Not fly balls, but he hit both balls hard. The ball that tricked Blanco for the triple and then the double and scored on the Molina double.
Wong hit the ball hard first time up. Wound up being a 6-4-3 double play. That tails back in for a strike. And he's 0 for 2. Back-to-back doubles with 2 outs. Hayward and Molina extends the lead to 4-2. Is brought to you by USAA, proudly serving the needs of the military community for over 90 years. Now you come to San Francisco, you have the cable cars.
San Francisco, a city that needs no promotion.
No, sir. The 23 cable car lines established in the late 1800s, early 1900s. 3 remain.
My partner's been spending a lot of time, extra time, at the Cable Car Museum, perhaps.
I've taken it in. I've enjoyed it. Here's Aoki. And an infield hit, diving stop by Matt Carpenter, and he was able to beat it out. 5th Japanese-born player to wear the Giants uniform. With Kansas City last year. Hit .285 for the American League champions. And he slaps that foul and out of play. He was a 7-time All-Star in Japan. Signed with Milwaukee originally. Come over here to the United States. Traded to Kansas City and then picked up by the Giants. Hit the other way again. It's slicing and foul. 0-2 the count. Tim, the starting pitching, we keep saying it. Will it ever come back down to the mean, if you will? And the answer right now is no. The starters are, in their last 6 games, 6-0 with a 1.64 ERA.
Well, the pitching overall, the bullpen included, has just been phenomenal.
The 0-2. Mound was lowered, 1969. And since that time, the best collective ERA was the 1972 Baltimore Orioles. The Cardinals may surpass that this year.
Orioles with a 2.53 team ERA that year. And the Cardinals with a 2.63 ERA this year.
Some of the names on that Orioles staff: Jim Palmer, Pat Dobson, and yet the Cy Young Award winner that year was Gaylord Perry in the American League
of Cleveland.
24-16 in the National League. A guy you know very well, Steve Carlton, 346 innings in 1972 with a 1.97 ERA. He went 27-10.
He won 27 games. The Phillies that year won 59 games. So Carlton won about 43-44% of the Phillies games himself.
Put him on a good team. What does he do?
Oh.
We were talking with Mike Krukow, as you mentioned before the game, and he was a teammate of Steve Carlton, as you were as well. And
connected
you guys were
at the hip.
Yeah,
we were connected at the hip. Still are in many ways.
And you guys were talking about the fact that Steve Carlton, we hear about side sessions all the time and working on things between starts. Not only did he not do that, he didn't pick up a baseball between starts.
Never threw between starts, never ran anytime. But he worked out harder. Nobody could keep up with him in the weight room and working with Gus Heffling. You and Ricky Horton have talked about that this year, about the rice, trying to get the forearms and the hand down at the bottom of a bucket of rice. Try to do that sometime and then make 10 revolutions with your hand. Your forearm is exploding when you take it out of that rice. Lefty was so far ahead of everybody. I mean, it was thought that pitchers can't bulk up, and to a degree that's right. Baseball's not a game for bulking, but Carlton found out how to train as a pitcher before they taught anything about isometrics.
Or train the proper areas of the body.
Right. Never had an elbow injury, and yet threw a pitch, known for a pitch, that gives elbow injuries, and that's a slider. He had some shoulder problems, but no elbow problems.
Cardinal fans, did you know that the StubHub app is personalized just for you? StubHub app, you can select your favorite teams and artists and discover new ones too. The official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Cardinals, it's StubHub. Here's Matt Duffy. I was telling you that just shaking his hand during our fundraiser that we had in the offseason hurt my hand. Strong man, big man.
I have never known a man who was stronger from his fingertips of his left arm to his elbow. An explosive, again, slider. To throw the slider, the forearm. Explosive.
As he told us, so disappointed that he did not finish up or at least have a longer career with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Cardinals, of course, the team with which he signed back in 1974, and stubborn. Woof, that whole team was stubborn back in the 60s. Gibson, Maxfield, then Cepeda came along, Lou Brock. All of us were stubborn. Oh yeah, I'll include me. I mean,
no.
all of us were. Yeah.
You.
Yep.
You were stubborn.
Kurt Flood was so stubborn. Look what he did, taking the first step in 1969.
Into shallow right, and it is Piscotty jumping in front of Hayward to make the catch. The Cardinals have a lead in this game. I'd be stunned to see Piscotty patrolling center field late innings. Not to say that he can't play it, but you go with your best defense, and right now it looks like he's learning on the fly.
Well, that's easily corrected by moving Piscotty to left, putting Brandon Moss, and then replacing
There's
Piscotty in center field. Excuse me, Dan.
Oh, no problem. That's a base hit into left off the bat of Bell, who's 2 for 2. Well, you think of Peter Borges, too?
Borges, sure, of course.
And it brings in Buster Posey. This is how it got going in the first inning for the Giants. Garcia got a double play, and with 2 outs, nobody on, base hit by Belt, then a bloop base hit to center by Buster Posey, and then Bird the double down the right field line to score 2. And that pitch is taken for a ball. Rookie of the Year in 2010, the MVP in 2012. Gerald Dempsey Posey. It goes by the name of Buster, which was his dad's nickname, and then carried over to the Giants catcher.
Said he has loved the game of baseball since he was 5 years old in southern Georgia.
Used to do a number of college baseball games. Mike Martin is the legendary coach at Florida State, where Buster played. And people don't realize this, at the time he was a shortstop in college.
Signed as a shortstop, I believe, right?
Correct. And now has turned into a tremendous catcher, offensively and defensively. Coach Martin told me he's the best player we've ever had, bar none. And he said physically he may not have been the best player, but what made him the all-around player, to give him the best description, if you will, of Buster Posey, was the mental side. He said he never got 2 up, never got 2 down. So J.D. Drew was close, but not quite to the level of Buster Posey. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Don't pitch him inside when you're behind in the count. He's looking to rip one right now, tie this game up. The fastball away. Generally speaking, major league pitchers and catchers work hitters away when they're behind in the count, and when they're ahead in the count, they're more apt to come inside.
At 3-2, it's pulled foul.
So there's a fastball away, 3-1, and a fastball inside, 3-2.
The shift now for Buster Posey. The Cardinals have shifted the fewest times in baseball among all major league teams.
I don't know if I agree with this shift, and the reason is Buster Posey, with 2 strikes, hits the ball the other way with aplomb. That's why he's hitting so well. He's made public statements. He's hitting so well this year because he's been going the other way more consistently.
Goes the other way, base hit into right. Runners at the corners, and here's Marlon Byrd.
Posey entered the game batting .313, and that's one of the reasons, using all parts of the field.
Nice piece of hitting there.
No defense for that. When a guy can do that with a pitch like that, tip your cap, move on.
A .313 average at the start of play was 5th best in the National League. D. Gordon at .333. Miami to lead the National League. Hit out to left. Sinking liner, and the catch is made. Brandon Moss. So the Giants strand 2. Bird is 1 for 2. Hits into some tough luck right at Moss. That sinking liner. That takes a hit and an RBI away. We played 3 from AT&T Park. Cardinals on top. It's 4-2. Here's Mark Reynolds to lead off the top of the 4th. Flied out to right, first time up. If you're just joining us, the Cardinals had 4 consecutive hits to start the game against Chris Heston. Then he settled in. Bruce Bochy even had a reliever getting loose as that's snared by Adrianza. Nice play. Steven Piscotty has played all 3 outfield spots here in San Francisco. That's his catch Friday. Started in left yesterday, taking ground balls at first before the game, and then during the game, whoop, catch in center field, showing his versatility. As Moss pulls it foul. And the point being, you know, you're talking about playing 3 different outfield positions in one of the toughest ballparks to do it.
As a rookie.
As a rookie.
Yeah.
On a first place team and the best team record wise in the game. Good change up there. 0-2. Moss sent Blanco, the center fielder, up against the wall. First time up, he's 0 for 1. And Moss tattoos that pitch. Deep right center. Blanco back in, it's gone! Brandon Moss, his second as a Cardinal. The second home run hit by St. Louis. That's number 17 total this year for Moss. And the Cardinals extend their lead. On a 1-2 pitch, Moss connects.
Well, you talk about unloading on a ball. It looked like a changeup. Third one in a row.
That's lifted to left off the bat of Garcia. There's 2 down, and he's 0 for 2. Whew. This road trip, I'm sure, has been a relief for Brandon Moss. As you talked about, a key hit, that home run to break a 3-3 tie in Arizona, and contributing here in this series and now with the home run.
The triple that led to 4 runs in the 5th inning last night. Now a home run to pad the lead here in the 4th this afternoon.
Garcia, base hit into left. 8 Cardinal hits. Right-hander and a lefty getting loose in the pen for San Francisco. Hashtag MW Data Strong fan of the game. Presented by T-Mobile. Tweet us your strongest fan photo. We'll have one later in our telecast. Here's Matt Carpenter, who has a solo home run. First batter of the game, and he's also flied to center. Talked to Keith Hernandez an awful lot about how you hold a runner at first, and in this particular spot, pitcher running at first, Brandon Belt is a good 2 to 3 feet off the line. Also helps that he's left-handed to get to his right. And that one hurts him because he's left-handed. Into the Cardinals bullpen, and Carpenter on his way to second base with a double.
Jose Oquendo perhaps remembering that the last time Jaime Garcia was on at third base was in Miami. He hurt himself that night. He was on the disabled list. With a 3-run lead, hold him up, because everything that happens around the plate, you got to figure on a ball like that's going to be bad. What a call, though, partner. Nice going.
Thought he was off the line a little too much.
Yeah.
Cardinals getting good swings against this Giant starter, and now Carpenter is 2 for 3. The Cardinals have runners at second and third. That'll be it for Heston. He's out. And Contos, who is up for the second time, will come into the ballgame. Brandon Moss tattooed that pitch on a 1-2 count. 5-2 St. Louis, and they're looking to add on. We're talking about the positioning of Brandon Belt with Garcia running at first. Not only is he off the bag, but watch as the pitch is coming. A few steps, just enough to get past Belt, who is a good defender.
Well, you mentioned it, and you're exactly right. First base is a left-handed thrower's position, but that's one of the few times that you're burned as a left-handed thrower, because you have to backhand the ball. Not enough by Belt. Double for Carpenter.
So George Contos is our Chevy called to the pen. Heston 3 2/3, 9 hits, 1 strikeout, no walks, couple of home runs allowed.
I think this gives you an idea of how Bruce Bochy's thinking about his bullpen. He's going to unload it today, because with Contos in yesterday afternoon's ball game, he's probably in there for 1 hitter, and that's Piscotty, who's so hot. But the Giants are still in the game, 3 runs back, and they've got to win this game with the Dodgers playing tonight, playing the Cubs in LA.
And the 0-2 taken high.
You know, last month of the season, you got to play it day to day. It's no more week to week.
Yasmero Petit was very good yesterday. You'd figured he's unavailable today.
Right, 3 innings of work.
The Cardinals are ready with a 5-2 lead. Piscotty singled to center, scored back in the first, and is flied out to left. And a ground ball that's hit to third. Taken there by Duffy. The high throw. Belt still on the bat. Home run, Moss. 5-2 lead. There's a look at Moss, who is homered, almost did so twice. The other time he made it out was up against the wall. Stephen Piscotty, though, has been the story of this series, returning back to the Bay Area. And with more on that, let's check in with Jim Hayes.
Yeah, it's been quite the homecoming for Stephen. We mentioned he grew up about 45 minutes away from AT&T Park. He's had a ton of family and friends at each game. He told me he talked to Mike Matheny and John Mabry about how to handle the onslaught of attention. Mike told me it's a tough spot for a young player. They want to be loyal to the people that supported them along the way. At the same time, they have to realize they're paid to do a job. It's not fantasy camp. Mike says Stephen has done a good job of balancing it, and Stephen did get to spend some time with his family last night. No word on if they got takeout.
Looks like we struck a chord.
Yeah, we did.
Here is Kelby Tomlinson. As Stephen saying to us the other day that Friday the club got in to San Francisco very early in the morning, and so Friday was all about business, and he said, hey, this is my job now. I've got to make sure I get rest. I know family and friends want to visit with me.
And put some pressure on you.
And Saturday night
family there, yep,
would be my time to visit with them and then focus on the ball game today. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Kelby Tomlinson. How did you deal with that? I mean, you're born and raised in Memphis, not far away from St. Louis.
Had a lot of and folks coming up from Memphis wanted you to attend breakfasts. And probably the worst meal for a player to attend and speak is a breakfast after a night game, another night game that night. Things of that nature can put a lot of pressure on guys who are playing close to home.
Carpenter playing in, backhands it. One away.
Well, that's a good play.
So the first man retired here in the bottom of the fourth, and
the Lord of the Rings right there.
Unique look.
That's one word.
He's got the 2012 ring there. They've got 10, 12, and 14. Take your choice. And take your pick.
The rings are so beset with diamonds now, it's almost fearful to wear them.
They're huge.
Oh, my gosh. Like baseball and football try to outdo one another with the Super Bowl rings, or in basketball, the NBA.
I'll never forget it. In 2006, Cardinals won the World Series. We're on our way to meet the president. And they had different examples of the championship ring to show the players, maybe get their input. And the two smallest guys on the team, the two smallest players, one of them being Aaron Miles, said, "That isn't nearly big enough. We need to get that thing big. I want it to cover my finger." And it's plenty big, believe me. The 0-2.
So Bruce Bochy walking in the ballpark today. He had his World Series ring from last year on. I mean, it's just huge.
It is. 0-2 the count on Gregor Blanco, who was signed at the age of 16 by the Atlanta Braves. Bounced around and has found a home here in San Francisco. You talked about dumping the bullpen, and every game so important here down the stretch. The Giants 3.5 back of LA. That swung on and missed. 4.5 back of Chicago in the wild card. So that's why this weekend is so important for the Giants to post wins. They gain on somebody.
The Giants go to LA tonight after the game to start a 9-day road trip. So 3 against the Dodgers, 3 night games. How about Tuesday's matchup? Zach Greinke and Madison Bumgarner.
It's the game of the night.
Game of the night. Game of the week. Big one.
Adrianza is 3 for his last 28. Grounded out to second, first time up. The Giants are missing some key parts of their lineup. Crawford has not played this weekend. Panic is out. Pence is out. Angel Pagan.
And a tattered pitching staff after Bumgarner. Leak will help, but you don't know if that's enough.
Short series might be.
Maybe.
Mentioned Tim Lincecum. He's hurt. He's had hip issues now. Free agent to be. There's Brian Sabean, longtime general manager here with the Giants. Sabean came in after 3 losing seasons. 1997. Traded Matt Williams to Cleveland. Picked up Jeff Kent, Jose Vizcaíno, Julian Tavares at $1 million in cash. Took that to sign Darryl Hamilton. Also traded for JT Snow, and things started to change rapidly in the right direction.
The right side of the infield, Jeff Kent and JT Snow. Snow still works for the Giants.
And a ground ball. Carpenter is busy today. You expect that with Jaime on the mound. And a 1-2-3 inning, 4 in a row set down by the Cardinals lefty. We head to the 5th, 5-2 St. Louis. Well, my partner today will not let you take takeout out, but he will tell you about some of the best restaurants here in San Francisco.
Yeah, I like to eat out here.
I don't blame you. Here's Jason Hayward. Hayward with a triple and a double. Cardinals 11 triples this month. That's the most in a month since April of 1998.
Really? I did not know that.
Delino DeShields was on that team. He had 5. Brian Jordan 2. Gary Gaetti, Tom Lampkin was on that team. Eli Marrero, they all were part of it. 1998.
I remember a passage from a book some 50 years ago. I can't even think the name of it, where there was repartee between a man and his lover, and she asked him, do you love me? He was a big baseball fan. I'll tell you his response after this pitch.
Popped up and out of play.
She said, do you love me? And he asked, you mean more than a triple?
Now that's a baseball fan.
And she said, no, not more than a triple. Don't think that that was the answer or question that she was expecting. It was hilarious.
2 balls and 2 strikes here on Hayward.
I'm not the only one that likes triples.
I got you.
Yeah.
Tapped foul. You are well read. Only you could bring up.
That has nothing to do with it.
You know, I mean, you're bringing up books and.
Oh yeah, but I mean, this was an obscure book years ago.
Tim, earlier in Miami, you compared the Civil War to a pitcher on the mound.
I'm just a little weird. What can I tell you?
The 2-2. Just missed.
What's that old Joni Mitchell song? He looked at life on both sides now, up and down, in and out. Triples, doubles. Judy Collins, I beg your pardon. Corrected by the truck.
They don't miss a beat, do they?
No, they don't. Keep us honest.
Most of the time. The 3-2. Hayward slaps it foul and out of play. How would you define the year of Jason Hayward? Such a slow start, but now you look at the numbers and over 290, 11 home runs, only 47 RBIs.
Well, what's fascinating is how he's done it. We talked about Rick Horton yesterday and about how Rick has broken it down into that relatively disjointed swing of his. Trying to get the lower part of the body in unison or in rhythm with the upper part of the body. He's done it in a unique way, but he's done it. Bad first month. He entered the game. He's hitting over 290 now.
Exactly. Three-two pitch. Hayward back to Cantos. Out number 1 here in inning number 5. Let's take a look at our DraftKings players to watch. The lowest whip among Major League starters: Greinke, Kershaw, Garcia, and Scherzer. We will see Max Scherzer, by the way, in the upcoming series with Washington, the St. Louis native. And tomorrow night it's Gio Gonzalez going for Washington in what has been an extremely disappointing year for the Nationals. 5.5 games back of New York starting play today. Broken bat, and that's hit to Brandon Belt for out number 2. And we saw Molina with a couple of hits today, and this time trying to go the opposite way again. A look at our Chevy Fox tracks. With 2 outs, it brings in Colton Wong. Alex Wood will go tonight for the Dodgers against Jake Arrieta. Arrieta A 16-game winner. Tied with Madison Bumgarner with 16. Waka, Cole of Pittsburgh both with 15. And Zach Greinke with 14. And a fly ball lifted into shallow center. Blanco calls off everyone and makes the catch. Cardinals go in order. 5-2 St. Louis. Nationals, the Cardinals, John Lackey, 11-8, and that'll be seen on Fox Sports Midwest or Budweiser What's on Tap. You know, slowly but surely the Cardinals are getting healthy, and one of the guys we don't talk a lot about that could be a key member down the stretch in postseason play, you see him there, and that's Matt Belisle. And we were here at the ballpark early. Belisle threw another bullpen today, using all his pitches, dealing with the sore elbow, as Juan Perez will pinch hit for Cantos against Jaime Garcia. And today what they did was have somebody to step in the batter's box just so he had a hitter in there, not swing, but just to see a hitter. They're looking at Tuesday potentially facing hitters when we get back to St. Louis, and then really amp it up and get him back and ready to roll. Kind of the forgotten man, the middle reliever, but yet those guys bridge the gap to get to your closers or your hard throwers late innings and can make such a difference on a good club.
Well, your one inning guys, that could be the inning that if you shut a team down or if it gets away from you and they score 2 or 3 runs, particularly in the postseason. I mean, every pitch is so important. Every inning.
We were talking about this particular team. He said, I've never seen pitching ever like this.
No. I think he's got some company there. I don't think any of us have.
And he said the real reason why, he said, yeah, they're all talented. There's no questioning that. He said, but guys truly do not put themselves in front of the team. And the chemistry on this team is second to none. As Perez pops it up into shallow right, there's Colton Wong. Chemistry. You know, baseball, a game of numbers. But what's forgotten at times, guys that get along. Sometimes there's teams that never got along and won, but good chemistry can't hurt. Agreed?
Good chemistry is very important, I think. But baseball is a selfish game. It's an individual's game. Played well as a team.
The mano y mano, so to speak.
Certainly a pitcher to a hitter.
Aoki slaps it foul.
Kurt Simmons, an old teammate in Cardinal back in the early 60s, said, give me 25 selfish players with talent and I'll win all the pennants in the world.
Right.
You look at the Oakland Athletics in 72, 3, and 4. There was never a more selfish ball club. I'll tell you a story about Reggie Jackson as an example. In 1975, I was with the Red Sox. It was a 9-1 game. Reggie Jackson was on third base, 1 out. Sal Bando was the hitter.
Carpenter, what a play. Playing in, leaps, and puts it away for out number 2.
We interrupt this story with a fabulous play. What a play by Carpenter. So Reggie, playing for the Oakland Athletics, is on third, 9-1 game. Sal Bando, the hitter. Great play by Carpenter. Fly ball deep to right field. Louis Evans. Reggie Jackson goes halfway. He doesn't go back and tag up. Dwight Evans throws the ball into second base. He was giving him the run. Obviously, he's too deep for a play at the plate. And Bando and Jackson almost have a fight. Bando went after him. Why are you doing that? And the reason, after the game, Reggie told Bando that he was 1 ahead of him in RBIs, and he didn't want him to take time for the team lead that night. That's a fact.
Oh, my goodness.
That is a fact, my friend. Now, that's selfish.
I had never heard that. I've heard a lot of Reggie stories, but not that one.
That's a fact.
Now Lowe's never stop improving. Highest on base percentage leading off an inning. The Cardinals at .319, just behind Arizona. Arizona, one of the top offensive clubs in the game, certainly in the National League. LA, San Francisco, Miami on that list.
That's a surprise graphic, I'll tell you. I mean, because the Cardinals are not that potent an offensive team, and yet they're second in leading off an inning. And that leads to at least one marker.
Yeah.
You know.
Mark Reynolds, first pitch by Lopez, a high drive, deep left field, and it's gone. Reynolds now with a 7-game hitting streak. Home run number 12, and that on-base percentage leading off an inning is skyrocketing. Boy, a long home run off his bat. Some happy Cardinal fans.
Mark Reynolds, when he makes contact, always hits it farther than it initially appears off the bat. Always.
For a play-by-play guy, that's tough.
It's tough.
You got to watch the outfielders. And I was watching Aoki, and he took a few steps and said, nope, no chance. That ball was crushed.
Yeah. And with so little effort. Mark knew it, but we didn't.
And here's Moss, who has a home run. The Cardinals with 3 today. A week ago, the Cardinals were in the midst of winning their game in San Diego, coming off 2 awful, terrible back-to-back games against the Padres, and now this road trip has a chance to turn out to be one of their better trips of the year. Reynolds, a liner, and caught by Adrianza.
That's why the one word I detest in baseball for any team during any time, regardless of the score, is embarrassing. Now, I'm sure somebody used that for, well, the Cardinals were embarrassed their first 2 games. No, they weren't. They lost. It's a word that should be eliminated from baseball lingo.
And by the way,
since that time, they played as good a ball as they played over a week stretch for the year.
it's the first home run that Lopez has allowed this year.
Wow.
Opponents came in hitting 128 against him. He's had a really good year. This is over a long stretch, 62 games.
Usually a 1 inning, maybe 2 inning pitcher at the most.
He's thrown 34 innings coming in, so that gives you the idea. He changed his career by throwing with this style. That even below 3/4, he was more over the top.
Yeah. Almost all pitchers are at least 3/4. There are very few guys that throw 100% overhand. That usually causes arm problems.
Cardinals had a home run from Carpenter's solo shot in the first, solo home run by Brandon Moss in the fourth, and a solo home run here in the sixth by Mark Reynolds. A swing and a miss by Greg Garcia. The Cardinals are in the hunt for the playoffs. Join us for Outdoors Night presented by Cabela's at Busch Stadium on Tuesday, September 8th. Fans purchasing the special theme ticket take home a one-of-a-kind Mossy Oak camo hunting cap. Perfect for your hunting trips this off-season. Cardinals.com/theme. There's Jaime Garcia, who's 1 for 2. Giants fan and a Cardinals fan, they come together at McCovey Cove.
You know, one thing that has been noticeable all weekend, there have been tons of Cardinal fans here in San Francisco. Probably planned a year ago.
Cardinals travel so well, their fan base, throughout the summer. Get out of the heat of St. Louis and come to San Francisco.
Fun.
I love this place.
Oh yeah,
and I know you do too.
You mix baseball with whatever you want to do in the Bay Area. Anything goes.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and nobody on for Jaime Garcia. Two and 2 the count on Jaime Garcia. Cardinals return home. Washington tomorrow. First of 3. And after tomorrow, we'll turn the page on August and say hello to the final month, September. Strikeout of Garcia. 2 in the inning, but a home run allowed. Mark Reynolds with home run number 12, RBI number 42. Jose Oquendo busy today.
He loves that.
Cardinal fans do too. 6-2. St. Louis as we move to the home half of this 6th inning. Our BJC Healthcare difference maker this August, undefeated with an ERA that's below 2. Arrieta, he'll go tonight for Chicago. Sunday Night Baseball. Michael Wacha, Jaime Garcia, Madison Bumgarner. Without Bumgarner, the Giants are out of the race.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is what we talked about a few innings ago. The Cardinals with a change in their outfield. Peter Borges comes into center, and Piscotty shifts to left field. And here is Brandon Belt. Played at the University of Texas for Augie Garrido, also a famous college coach. We talked about Mike Martin of Florida State, Augie Garrido of Texas, where Brandon Belt was a pitcher at the time and has made himself into a very nice position player. He's 2 for 2 today. Single to right and scored in the first, and a base hit to shallow left. Piscotty over near the line, and it drops in. Brandon Belt, 3-hit day.
Talked about his power and his propensity to go left field. In last night's game, he's got power that way. He's a big guy. You don't think he's that big until you're next to him and you go, I misgauged your height, but he's strong. Inside out's this swing. 3rd straight hit for Belt.
Now Buster Posey, 2 for 2. Run scored. Single to right against the shift, and a bloop single to center. Here's the defense again, too, Tim. We talked about with Posey, who singled on a 3-2 pitch back in the 3rd. Colton Wong is near the bag at second. You're holding at first, so lots of room to that right side of the infield.
You got to cheat on the double play. He's not going to get there otherwise. But I will say, to your point, when you have a 4-run lead, you're less inclined to go for 2 because you want to play for the sure out of 1. Now, you'll take the double play, obviously. But there is a big hole, and as we said, with 2 strikes, Posey will go the other way. Prior to that, I think he's a pull hitter.
Line past Garcia. Belt and Posey combined 6 for 6 here today. The first 2 have reached.
Yeah, 7 hits for the Giants. 6 by Posey and Belt.
And the other by Marlon Byrd, who digs in. I mentioned this a couple of starts ago with Jaime Garcia. When he gets around 85 pitches, unscientific, of course, just from watching him.
Just from watching him in a start. Sure.
Yeah. And this goes back even to spring training in a simulated game, around 85 pitches. Some of those pitches get up. We'll see if that'll be the case here today. Hayward over, will play it off the wall. Again, it's a fair ball off the screen. Byrd to second base. A run does score. 3 consecutive hits. Cuts into the lead at 6-3.
That's unbelievable. It's almost the same place that Marlon Byrd hit that first double in the first inning to drive in 2. At the time, the first inning that is, there were 2 outs. So Posey was off with the crack of the bat. But Posey had to delay looking at Brandon Belt to see if he was going to score, because Belt had to decide whether to tag up at second base or not. This ball off the wire, and Byrd with his second double and 3rd RBI in this game.
Tim, he has 13 RBIs in 9 games with the Giants. So he has made an immediate impact. And now the tying run will come to the plate in Kelby Tomlinson. The corners are in. And a ground ball that's hit to short. Garcia will get the shore out. You just wonder if the Cardinals will start to think about getting somebody up in the bullpen.
Yes, they will. They're thinking about it already. And on cue.
Now Cishek gets up. He begins to throw. So 2 runs have scored in a hurry to make this 6-4. Hunter Strickland, hard throwing right-hander, getting loose for the Giants. And the pitch to Blanco is taken for a strike. The 0-1. Randy Choate will join Cishek in the bullpen. Carpenter in on the grass at 3rd. Outfield is shallow, big gap in right center. And a strike. 1-2.
Blanco did not agree with that last pitch. He may have a point. Usually pitchers don't get those high pitches right at the letters.
On 1-2, it's back to Garcia. He looks back Byrd, and there's 2 down.
Now we'll go back to the Byrd double. Nobody out. Brandon Belt at second base, Posey at first, and there's confusion around second base because there are no outs. And the way the ball was hit, look at Belt. He didn't know whether to go back and tag up, but because the ball hit in the fence, Belt scores easily. But Posey, watching Belt, ends up at third base. So it's an understandable base running play with nobody out. Obviously, Posey scores easily. So sometimes the number of outs dictate whether you score or not.
So 2 outs here and a runner at second. Adrianza, the switch hitting shortstop.
Also the number of runs, how many runs behind you are. You just have to play safety first on the bases when you're behind. Take chances when you're ahead.
Three for his last 29 for the Giants shortstop. The 0-1. And a fly ball out to left field. There's Stephen Piscotty under it and puts it away. The Giants pick up 2. We've got a game. It's 6-4. We head to the 7th here at AT&T Park. Driver's seat. The highest road winning percentage in the major leagues this year. The Cardinals are 10 games above 500. Kansas City, Texas, Chicago, all teams that could head to postseason play. Common theme: play well on the road.
Yep.
Well, the Cardinals have been just ridiculous this year at home. 27 games above 500. Only 19 losses.
Oh, man. By far the best in baseball.
Lopez, second inning of work, and he'll get the top of the lineup to start with Matt Carpenter, and then we'll see if they go to Strickland with Piscotty and Hayward coming up, or is it Lopez for the top of the 7th. Matt is 2 for 3, a home run and a double. The slider taken low. The 2-1. And the 2-2. Three-two pitch, and Carpenter draws a leadoff walk.
Yeah, I don't think Bruce Bochy has any other option but to go to the right-hander.
And as you mentioned earlier, Lopez more of a situational guy. You're extending him here in the game.
Red hot hitter up in Piscotty.
Yeah. And so Hunter Strickland trots in from the Giants bullpen. That'll be it for the lefty Lopez. This is our Chevy call to the pen. So Hunter Strickland is into the game. This guy can bring it. 40th appearance, 2.06 ERA. And he gets Stephen Piscotty, who is 1 for 3 today with a single and a run scored back in the first. Strickland has allowed 3 home runs this year. And you may remember last year in the wild card and also division series and the NLCS, the World Series, a real issue with him was home runs allowed. Gave up 6 in the postseason. And the 0-1 instead of check on Carpenter. Well, the rookies have really made the impression, not only here in San Francisco, but this entire road trip. When you think of Tommy Pham, who's not in the lineup today, and Stephen Piscotty. The 0-1. 0-2. Pitch at 97. So here's a look at the road trip for Piscotty that's updated. 371, 6 extra base hits. And the 7 walks, over a 350 average for Tommy Pham. You see there pictured on the left.
Impressive for both of them.
Here's the 0-2. Both bullpens are quiet, so leads you to believe that Garcia will pitch and at least start the 7th inning, the bottom half.
Another thing about baseball too, Dan, you know, 2 rookies being given an opportunity, and for them to be given a consistent opportunity over a couple of weeks, something bad has had to happen to the ball club, and that in the form of injuries.
Piscotty, a high fly ball. Right field, Marlon Byrd makes the catch. And Carpenter back to the bag at first.
I mean, often opportunity knocks at the expense of someone else. And that's happened since Wally Pipp days.
Just thinking, Wally Pipp.
Famous name in baseball. He sat one day, and the guy named Lou Gehrig took over, and 2,130 days, or 2,130 games later, Wally Pipp was sitting in the stands watching.
Here's Hayward, who's 2 for 3. Yeah, you think about Cal Ripken and you think about Lou Gehrig, and just a hit by pitch on a hand breaks a bone and you're done for a couple of months. There's a little luck with that involved, but still you have to be so tough to play this game day in and day out.
Play hurt.
Mental breaks.
I think I told you last year one story about Gehrig. It was in Ray Robinson's book about the Iron Horse. They had an exhibition game in Norfolk, Virginia. The Yankees traveled by train to Norfolk. Then they were scheduled to open in Washington the next night.
Hayward lines it into center, base hit.
Or the next day, sorry. So he gets hit in the head in Norfolk by a pitcher that didn't like Gehrig. Who is this guy? He had to be weird. Everybody loved Gehrig. But this guy hit him in the head intentionally. It was their AAA affiliate. They took him to the hospital. He spent the night in the hospital, and since Norfolk is near Washington, Gehrig was taken by train to the line. He said, "I'm playing today." He hit 3 triples his first 3 times up, and the game was rained out.
Oh, no. Could have had the day off.
Yeah, right. But the fact that it was never recorded. He hit 3 triples, game rained out, and they move on.
Incredible.
That guy was tough. Today it would have been a 7-day concussion.
Sure.
He would have had to have gone out.
Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. In which, with now the 7-day concussion DL, you're checked out not only by team doctors but Major League Baseball doctors. So
and you have no option. You are out for 7 days.
And those players, sometimes you'll say, well, maybe a trainer or a medical staff was trying to push us through. You hear that all the time in sports. Well, not now. You can't scoot by with that.
No.
0-2 the count on Molina. Line to second, and it's a double play. Tomlinson thought about going to Belt. He wasn't back to the bag, but Adrianza was there, and they turn a double play. Bring fans a pennant race deal that can't be beat. For a limited time, fans can purchase select seats for just $7 to the National Series, August 31st through September 2nd. For details, visit Cardinals.com/Papa John's. So here's Jaime Garcia pitching into the 7th inning. And a pinch hitter here for San Francisco, Justin Maxwell. He'll pinch hit for Strickland, and the Giants again will have to go to their bullpen, bring in their 5th pitcher of the afternoon. Maxwell was a pinch hitter yesterday and singled. The 2-0.
Oh boy, right now one walk begets another, or one walk begets the middle of the plate. That's what leadoff walks do when a pitcher, particularly if he misses 4 in a row. Jaime trying to come back here.
Garcia may have 2 hitters if he does not get Maxwell here. You've got Aoki hits from the left side. Choate is getting loose. Choate potentially getting loose for Brandon Belt. After Aoki, it's Matt Duffy. Cishek is also throwing in the pen. The pitch count at 96 for Garcia. And the 3-2. Comes back to get him. Fly ball into right. There's Jason Hayward. 1 away.
Good job by Garcia. You talk about hitters coming back. You talk about teams coming back. Well, pitchers come back in key situations too, as Jaime did there.
Well, you see this setting for baseball on such a gorgeous afternoon here in Northern California. And you wonder how in the heck did baseball nearly have San Francisco, or at least the Giants franchise, move to Tampa Bay.
And Bob Lurie was the owner at the time. Middle 70s. Huh. Did they make the right move there ultimately?
And in 1992, looking at Tampa Bay, and they've had their own issues with stadiums and whatnot, but they voted against it. The owners did. Peter McGowan bought the team and saved the franchise here. Aoki is 1 for 3.
Peter McGowan, I think, still an advisor to Larry Bayer, who is the principal owner now, and what a job Larry has done with this park, with these fans. Over 390 consecutive sellouts here. And as much as any park in baseball, these fans, as you can hear, are into every pitch.
When you think about Arizona, a team that was an expansion team in the late 1990s, and that atmosphere, no disrespect to them, but it was dead.
After that remarkable World Series win in 2001, by far their eclipsing moment.
Yeah.
Beating the Yankees.
2 historic franchises here.
Give TLR a chance.
Oh, he'll get it going.
Oh, I know you knew that.
He'll get it going.
Both admirers of him, but I would be surprised if in a couple of years you see a notable improvement.
I think we've seen it this year even.
Yeah, it's true. With their offense especially.
2-2 is put in play. Garcia can't come up with it. That's another move that we may see before this game is over. We talked about Piscotty in center. You could see Garcia being taken out for Peralta or even Pete Kozma. And with that base hit, it is ruled a hit. Mike Matheny will go to his pen.
When you're at a ballpark and the manager goes right to the mound, you know that there's not going to be a double switch. It'll be only one replacement.
Garcia 6 1/3. Hayward 3 for 4 today. Heston lasted just 3 2/3. Marlon Byrd a big afternoon with 3 driven in. Steve Cishek, you know he's been chomping at the bit to get back out there. Our Chevy called to the pen after he walked the bases loaded against Arizona, and Manus bailed him out.
With the 2 strikeouts and the ground out.
So Matt Duffy hits it up the middle and a double play ball. 6-4-3. Thank you very much. 1 pitch, double play. We head to the 8th. Go to our studio and a Bomberito Sports Update. And 70 as Michael Broadway takes over for the Giants. Our Chevy called to the pen. 392nd consecutive sold out crowd here at AT&T Park. Inside to Colton Wong, and we're underway here in the 8th. Cardinals second baseman is grounded into a double play. He is struck out and also fly to center. So Pittsburgh with a loss today, and they could be 4.5 out when we return to St. Louis in the early hours of Monday morning, I should say. And that's a fair ball. So leadoff hit for Colton Wong.
Hitters used to refer to those as parachutes for obvious reasons. Boy, do they ever count. Bob Skinner, outfielder with Pittsburgh, gosh, the Phillies, manager of the Phillies and the Cardinals, used to say this: a hit like that will keep a pitcher up all night, and that's what you're looking to do, keep them up.
You can understand why.
But I made the pitch. Why didn't he make it out? Come on, cooperate.
Here's Reynolds to homered off of Lopez back in the 6th. Peter Borges is on deck. Tim, you mentioned we were in the break, and if you get to Garcia's spot, which would have been 4th up in this inning, so we may see him. You might double switch, which you could be able to do now. Broxton is throwing in the pen.
Yeah, put perhaps Cosma at shortstop, hit him 9th if the 8th place hitter, which would be Greg Garcia, if he makes an out, it's an easy double switch. Then you get a better defender and a pitcher at the same time.
Time is granted late for Reynolds. 1 for 3 today with that home run number 12, RBI number 42. Cardinals hit into some tough luck to end the top of the 7th. Molina lining into a double play. Now Wong is aboard. The Cardinals with 12 hits. Runner goes, and it's fouled back. The Hyundai pitch arsenal for Michael Broadway. 4-seamer and a slider.
Yeah, you never see that pitch arsenal for a starter. Not enough change in his pitches.
Interesting to see the hit and run. I'm assuming.
I don't think it was.
You think it was straight steal? I was
thinking the same thing. I think it was straight steal. I think Wong has the green light.
And
you don't hit and run with Mark Reynolds.
Agreed.
Ever.
Swing and misses. Doesn't hit to right very often.
Right. Too many strikeouts.
Well, he was running again and fouled back again.
Now Mark's worn him out. Too tired to run 3,000.
Did you see Wong?
What did he do?
Reaction looking back at Reynolds like, are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? Let me go.
Had that stolen.
He has had the jump. 2 pitches in a row.
Oh, 0-2 the count. Not running this time, and it's fouled back again.
That was a mistake right there. You got away with it. A lot of people think major league hitters hit all mistakes. They don't. They had good pitches too.
Broadway appearing for the 10th time this year. 10 1/3 innings under his belt thus far. 0-2 pitch to Reynolds. Instead of check on Wong. He has 14 stolen bases this year. He's been caught 8 times. Beat up lineup, and to an extent a beat up bullpen right now for Bruce Bochy too. The lefty Osich is throwing in their pen. Broxton for St. Louis.
Broadway asking for help. No way did Reynolds go around. Not even close.
2 former catchers at the helm of their respective teams here today. Bruce Bochy and Mike Matheny. All time in baseball, they're by position guys who played in the big leagues. Catchers are the ones as managers that have won World Series the most. 13 of them.
Most by any position player.
And it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Bruce Bochy has told us before that as a catcher, you see everything. You're involved with every pitch.
You can see the jump the center fielder gets. Peripherally, you know where the third baseman's playing. The middle infielder's very important. And at the same time, you're concentrating on your pitcher.
Popped up.
You don't know you're thinking that, Dan. I mean, my first couple of years as a broadcaster back in the early 80s, I didn't know what I knew because I'd never seen the game from that angle. I'd never seen the game from 2 stories up. I always saw the game from field level. And it's amazing how things open up for you when you become a broadcaster.
A little easier up here.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the kidding line and all that sort of stuff.
Wong, a good jump, but he is. I'm going to call a balk, I believe. Wong
didn't stop.
Never slid, and he must have.
He heard it. That's right. He heard it before anybody. I think second base umpire Trip Gibson called the balk. You don't see that too often. But it's a 1001. A pitcher must come to a set position 1001. He didn't stop. Watch.
Boy, that's close.
I don't agree with that.
Me neither.
He didn't look like he balked. He came to enough of a stop. But the Cardinals will take it.
So Wong must have known. He never slid.
He probably heard. He was running right toward the second base umpire, so he probably told him.
And now Reynolds is trying to figure out the count.
Still 2-2. Because Mark went through the pitch. It was a strike. He tried to hold up but couldn't. So once the balk is called, no pitch.
So the 2-2 now to Reynolds. Hits it the other way. Belt flips to Broadway for the out. So Reynolds, with the ground out, advances Wong to third with just one down.
Yeah, however inadvertently you can advance the runner. And Mark did it off the end of the bat. And I'm sure he'll get a high five, even though his intention was not to hit the ball that softly.
Harry Carey bobblehead with a voice chip coming up on Monday, September 7th. Also the Michael Wacha growth poster. Bruce Bochy has not signaled for the lefty to come in. You do have Garcia on deck. Cardinals on their bench. Easily could counter with a Peralta. A chance to do some damage potentially. See what Borges does here.
I'm sure Bruce Bochy at least mentioned the possibility of a squeeze. One out, speed on at third, a good bunter, and Borges. But they have to bring the infield all the way in, not halfway, because of the speed of Wong.
And Borges, his first plate appearance in this game, in the spot that was occupied by Brandon Moss, who homered here. Cardinals with 3 home runs this afternoon.
I think you give Wong, you're up by 2. It's late in the game. I think on a ground ball you send Wong. He's fast enough to try to score. When you're in front, when you have a lead, especially by more than 1 run, you take more chances. You take a chance that way, but you've got the bottom of the order, so why not? You might get a high chopper.
Oh, 2. Borges with a home run on this road trip in Arizona. Falls behind, no balls, 2 strikes. Wong the runner at third with 1 down. Cardinals trying to advance their 6-4 lead. Strikes out Borges. Now does Bochy go to his lefty to face Garcia? So we take a look at our T-Mobile fan photo of the telecast. Hashtag MW Data Strong Fan. Duffy, the third baseman, even with the bag off the line. And Garcia delivers with a base hit into left. A 2-out hit brings in his former college teammate Colton Wong, and it's 7-4. And now Johnny Peralta will pinch hit.
Well, the Big Island of Hawaii is very, very happy right now. Greg Garcia driving in his college teammate, as Dan said, from third base. That's a big hit and a key run.
Sure is. Now the balk looms large. Johnny Peralta hit into 3 double plays yesterday.
And now Mike Matheny has the people in place to go out for defense. If Peralta makes an out, then his new pitcher will bat 8th, and Peralta stay in the game. So you switch from Cosma now to Peralta.
So 2 outs, runner at first. Garcia with no steals this year. 7-4 Cardinals. They've scored in the first, in the third, the fourth, the 6th, and now here in the 8th. 13 hit attack. Two balls and no strikes. The 2-0. Inside, 3-0. You know Peralta has the green light.
Not every major leaguer, even if they're good hitters, can hit with 3-0. They become too anxious, swinging high fastballs and pop them up.
3-1. This guy is just steady. I mean,
oh man,
yesterday was one of the first times I can remember since he was signed where you say, well, Johnny Peralta had a tough day.
Yeah, not many.
3-1 pitch to the Cardinals shortstop. That's hit out of play. And a full count now on Johnny Peralta. Pitch is taken for a ball. So single, ground out, strikeout, 2 out hit by Garcia, a walk to Johnny Peralta, and Bruce Bochy will go back to his pen, get the lefty Osich to face Matt Carpenter. This will be the 6th pitcher used by the Giants today. The new pitcher, the left-hander Josh Osich, or Chevy, called to the pen. His 19th appearance, done a very nice job out of their bullpen. What's interesting here, if you're Bruce Bochy, And you talked about it. You're late in the season. You're pulling out all the stops, which is what he's done here in this game.
Trying to on your way to L.A. tomorrow?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yasmero Petit, you wouldn't think would be able to pitch today. Maybe in an emergency, but you're left now with your setup man and your closer. So if you come back and tie this game up and it goes deep into extra innings, just something to think about. You know, managers are
you're
going
hamstrung.
Over,
sure,
yeah.
You're hamstrung with relievers.
They're going over every possible scenario. As Carpenter yanks it foul. New runner at first base. May take over at short. That's Pete Kozma. He's pinch running for Johnny Peralta. Carpenter has been on base 3 times today. Home run number 20. A double inside the first base line. And he walked back in the 7th. The 0-1. Now 0-2. So Casilla, Petit, and Romo left in the pen for the Giants. For Carpenter, that was walk number 68. He is in the top 7 of the National League in that category. Telling us the other day with 2 strikes, bring it on. Loves to hit with 2 strikes. Now it's 0-2.
Some guys say that, other guys do it. Matt does it.
Really a unique skill set that he possesses.
Oh, yeah.
The
There aren't too many major leaguers that will admit they like to hit with 2 strikes.
I don't know of any.
Hard pressed.
Two on, 2 outs in an 0-2 pitch to Carpenter. Outside. I mean, you have to have an understanding, a terrific understanding of the strike zone. Can't be over anxious. Can't feel like the pressure's on you. A lot of things happen when you hit with 2 strikes.
Sure.
And he has been a money player. Think about what he does with runners in scoring position. Best on the team. Shade him to the opposite way. The 1-2 pitch. Carpenter is swinging a miss, and he strikes out. The Cardinals, though, get a 2-out base hit to left by Greg Garcia to drive in Colton Wong, who singled to start the inning. Broxton coming on when we come back. Fans ages 16 and older receive a replica 1967 World Series championship ring. This one-of-a-kind replica has a detachable base. It's wearable. Get your tickets. And that'll be against the Pirates September 4th. Cardinals.com/promotions. Our Chevy call to the pen, Jonathan Broxton, who hit 97 in Game 1 in the final pitch of his outing Friday night with the bases loaded. Hardest pitch he had thrown this year. He'll get Belt, Posey, and Bird. The middle of this lineup. Pete Kozma stays in the game after pinch running, and he's at shortstop. The middle of the lineup this afternoon on fire for the Giants. Off the glove of Colton Wong, in a 4-hit day for Brandon Belt. Leadoff man is on.
You know, it's a small thing as you see Brandon Belt get his 4th hit of the afternoon. 4th hit. And the Giants still trail by 3. It's a small thing, but Bruce Bochy has Santiago Casilla warming up. He's their stopper. And you're telling your lineup by him warming up that we think you can at least tie the Cardinals this inning. It's a small thing, but it's something that Bochy does very well.
Now Posey. Belt, Posey, and Bird. Tim, they are combined 9 for 10 in this game. They have 9 of the 11 Giants hits. Cardinals have turned a double play today. That was to end the 7th. With Steve Cishek in the game as Posey hits it out of play. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, the biggest pitch in this game was thrown by Steve Cishek.
Turned out to be a 6-4-3 double play and ended the threat.
1 pitch, 2 outs.
7-4 St. Louis in the home half of the 8th. Ooh. 1-2.
Sound like Madeline Kahn and young Frankenstein. Woof. Woof.
Well, she would have said the same thing looking at that pitch. Posey protecting the plate that time.
Yeah, not the same circumstance.
No. Not quite.
Woof.
Out of play.
Ooh, Posey would like that one back. Hanging slider. Everybody knows it. I mean, including Broxton, who threw it, and Posey, who swung at it and fouled it back.
And as you said earlier, sometimes you get a pitch to hit.
Yeah.
Not always does it turn out to be a rope somewhere.
No, that's true.
The 1-2. He got him. A strikeout of Buster Posey.
Was not a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, but in a good spot. Tailing fastball away right on the corner.
Marlon Byrd, a pair of doubles. He could not have placed them any better down the right field line off the wall. Just inside the line. Cardinals looking for a double play as the runner goes. Molina, no chance. Belt with his 9th steal. That is the first stolen base against Molina this entire road trip.
I was just going to say that. Nice going. And Brandon Belt with a good lead. He's an excellent base runner. He'll time. A guy like Broxton, 305 pounds, takes a long time to get it to home. And even though the Giants are trailing by 3, that could be a runner for the Giants that you want to look back on in the bottom of the 9th if they score 2 and played him here. Never know.
And you eliminate the potential double play.
Right.
Yadier Molina looking for his 8th Gold Glove.
He'll get it.
Every other active catcher has combined 7. He has dominated his era of catching in the major leagues.
No question about it.
1 for 8. Bird against Broxton.
I think everybody talks about Yadier Molina's skills, and you have to be impressed with him. But the fact that he shows up every day and is always ready to show off those skills is perhaps his greatest trait.
Agreed. Plays every day.
Leads the majors in innings caught.
Line drive into right center field. That ball will get down. Bird has had quite the afternoon. On his way to second. On his way to third. Marlon Bird cuts into the lead. It's now 7-5 with a triple and an RBI. What a day for Bird. 2 doubles and now a triple.
4 RBIs on the afternoon. We saw Marlon Bird playing umpire, his first hit down the right field line. Not this time. He can smell a triple. Running hard out of the box. Rather easily into third.
Now Tomlinson, who has an RBI back in the 6th. It's 7-5. And the Cardinals,
they're going to appeal at second base to see if Bird catch second.
He did. I thought on the replay he did. He did not go around it comfortably.
No, I thought he touched it. But time was called, and that's why Colton Wong went to the bag, and Jonathan Broxton got in a set position, then stepped off. Because getting back on the rubber, you activate play again. Then you have to step off and then throw to second.
Corners in, middle infield, regular depth. And a ball to Tomlinson. Again, the Cardinals, without the services of Trevor Rosenthal, he'll rejoin the club tomorrow. One and one.
Good fastball from Broxton.
We've seen under Mike Matheny, too. These are the kind of games that if Rosenthal had rest, you may see him now for a 5-out save.
No doubt about that. Especially with Segrist having the problems that he had the other night with his wildness.
The 1-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. If you're the Giants, you have to get this run home.
Once again, it's another reason that Casilla is warming up in the bullpen.
On 1-2. Take it for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball hit the dirt. Tomlinson asking for a new baseball.
Doesn't get one.
That may be the first time I've seen an umpire look at it and give it back to the catcher and say, nope, it's good, go.
This is fine. You can see him looking at it. This is fine.
No cut in it. Let's go. Let's play ball. The 2-2. He got him. A strikeout for Broxton, his second in the inning. So now there's 2 outs. And the batter will be Gregor Blanco.
We saw Blanco bunt by pulling the ball down the first baseline in Friday night's ball game. So we'll see. I mean, this could be a bunt for a base hit. Blanco can run. He's 0 for 3. Has not gotten the ball out of the infield today. So that ups the odds a little bit that he might be thinking about that. We'll see. I think that's what Yachty wants to talk about.
Yeah, and the way the Cardinals were positioned too, Tim, to further your point, Carpenter in, Reynolds was in, and now Segrist will start to throw in the pen. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the content descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Along with Jim Hayes, Tim McCarver, Dan McLaughlin with you and our entire crew here in San Francisco. Runner at third is Bird. 2 outs. Here in the home half of the 8th, 7-5, the Cardinals lead. Ball 1 to Blanco, who is 0 for 3. I would imagine some fans are saying, well, you have Choate there, they have a short bench, but you know, if Bruce Bochy then could get Susac to come to the plate to face Choate, pinch hit for Blanco, they might do that.
Yeah,
the only problem with that, though,
you got a short bench for the Giants, a short bullpen for the Cardinals, and the shortness of the bullpen of the Cardinals, I think, is more of a key point than a short bench for the Giants.
However, if you go with the lefty-lefty matchup, if he pinch hits for Blanco,
I don't think he'd pinch hit. Then you have it. Then you're saying you're done. Oh, Broxton's got 2 strikeouts. That's got to weigh in there somewhere.
Hit out of play.
Blanco fouling the ball back the other side.
Just something to think about.
Yeah, sure. All these things going through Mike Matheny's mind right now.
But if he wanted to have the lefty-lefty matchup, he could, because on their bench, no outfielders left either. So they'd be forced with Blanco against Choate.
Yeah, right.
1-2 pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I think by leaving Broxton in there, Mike Matheny has chosen power over finesse.
The 2-2. Strikes out the side. Called third strike. And Broxton gets Blanco. The Giants, though, pick up a run. Sends us to the 9th. Another entertaining ball game. The Giants and the Cardinals. Off-speed pitch. 7-5. Steven Piscotty leads it off, and the first pitch is pulled foul here in the ninth. Piscotty has singled and scored in the first. Began this game playing center field. Flied to left, grounded out to third, and flied out to right. Piscotty, Hayward, Molina against Osich. Second inning of work. Segrist was up and throwing, and I'm assuming when you get to out number 1 or 2, he'll be back up and start warming up again in the Cardinals pen. A 1-1 pitch to Piscotty. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Boy, the strategy in this game,
yeah,
this has been fun.
great. Yeah, it's been a fun game for everybody. Hope you're enjoying it in St. Louis and its environs, 7-state environ.
We go everywhere now.
Fox Sports Midwest. Oh yeah.
I mean, we're everywhere, Tim.
Oh, yeah, ubiquitous.
You got it. All over the place. And you'll be with us tomorrow as the Cardinals welcome the Nationals and Matt Williams to town.
3 night games, then the off day, and then Pittsburgh and the Cubs. What a fun time in St. Louis it's going to be over the next 10 days.
Max Scherzer will pitch in one of those games against the Cardinals. Up close look at Bryce Harper, who could be the MVP of the National League. Tomorrow night, Gio Gonzalez, left-hander for Washington against John Lackey. Game 2, Carlos Martinez against Joe Ross, who's 5-5, and then Michael Wacha and Max Scherzer. That'll be on Wednesday night. Good at bat again by Piscotty. Leadoff walk. Cardinals have received 3 walks today.
Stringing good bats together like fish in the bay.
That's been him.
Yeah.
Just not overwhelmed. I mean, I've said it a lot, but you interview him or you talk to him on the plane or at the hotel. So even keel.
Thinks he belongs. That's the first step and the most important. Once your ability is apprised, then that's your first step, knowing you belong. And he and Pham both think they belong. Garcia, I'm here for a reason.
Jason Hayward is a home run away from the cycle, just like last Sunday. And the 0-1 pitch. He told us after the game on Sunday that he didn't even realize he had a chance to get the cycle, and he had to do that against one of the best in Craig Kimbrell, his former teammate with the Braves. Here's an 0-2 pitch. Tapped foul. August 16th against Miami. Not once, but twice last time that he has homered. He's sitting on 11 home runs this year. One ball and 2 strikes. So that pitch in. Next pitch, a slider out and away.
Well, that's right, because not every pitch is designed to get you out. Sometimes it's designed for the next pitch to get you out. He'll go away now.
Mark Rudzelanek had a great year in 2005, the last Cardinal to hit for the cycle. The 1-2. Hayward bounces it to the right side. Advancing on the play, Piscotty to second base.
That's very good base running by Piscotty. Going hard into second base and making sure Tomlinson has no play there. Sometimes guys, you know, they don't. It's so refreshing to see a guy who is trying to stay in the major leagues. He doesn't run hard to second, maybe a play on him. They get the lead runner. Big difference.
The 7th pitcher for the Giants coming on. It's Casilla when we come back. Our Chevy call to the pen takes us to Santiago Casilla, and his 52nd appearance, the closer for the San Francisco Giants. He's got Molina here. Right-handers hitting just .215 against him. And a ground ball that's hit to short. Piscotty advancing to third. Again, good base running.
So Tommy Pham do that the other night to tie the game. Got a walk, went to second on a ball that Marlon Byrd played back on, then went to third on a fly ball to the outfield, and then scored on a wild pitch.
Left-handers are hitting .310, including 9 of their last 27 they've gotten to Casilla. Colton Wong here, runner at third. Left in the pen, if Petit is off limits, Sergio Romo, and that's it. One ball, one strike.
I think Bruce Bochy brought in Casilla to give his team every chance to win it in 9 innings. For that reason and obvious reasons. Or at least to tie it.
Wong pulls it foul, and Chris Maloney comes up with the play of the day.
Pick it, Chris. Being ragged by the dugout. Nothing to it. He does it without a glove.
Of course, you can't feel his hand right now, but that's no big deal. It's gone numb. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Wong broke his bat. Casilla really changed his career playing in the Dominican Winter League, where his general manager was Felipe Alou and also Moises Alou helping out, and Moises said, you need to develop a breaking ball. You've got to get a better curveball, and he said that conversation is what changed his career. His curveball at times can be very good. We've seen a couple that have been flat. He's wound up having a couple of good years now, back-to-back for the Giants. The 1-2. That was the fastball at 94.
Wong on that one.
Casilla last year, 54 appearances, 1. .70 ERA. And he's been a part of this great run for the Giants.
Been an important cog. He has.
Came up in 2010. Very good years in 10, 12, and 14. Oh, the call goes to see his way on the outside corner. Wong didn't like it. Now we turn to Kevin Segrist. The bottom of the ninth. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. Lombard Street here in San Francisco.
Curviest street in the country, I believe. Certainly in San Francisco, as you can see. Got to take your time going down that hill, because there's no coming up that hill.
Oh, I've done that before. Yeah. Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah. I've done that on other streets.
Here's Kevin Segrist, our Chevy call to the pen. He is 5 for 8 in save opportunities. But Segrist wasn't sharp the other night.
No, out of the strike zone, falling behind. But he does not have that luxury today. Didn't have that luxury the other night either. Very important to stay ahead of Adrianza.
And the first pitch is taken for a strike. The Giants shortstop is 0 for 3 today. Grounded out to second, grounded out to third, and flied out to left. Chance to make this a 7-3 road trip for the Cardinals after dropping the first two in San Diego. The 1-1 pitch from Kevin Segrist. Out of play. Rosenthal is back tomorrow. I'd say rested, but he and his wife had a baby. I don't know how much rest you get there.
Yeah, right.
At least his arm is.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. Andrew Susak, the backup catcher, is at the on-deck circle, and then we'll see the top of the lineup. The 2-2. On the air tomorrow from Busch Stadium at 6:30 with the pregame show, 7 o'clock to play-by-play.
Adrianza knows what's coming. Fastball's got to be. No luxury to throw anything else.
Here's a 2-2. And he got him. A strikeout to start the bottom of the ninth.
Right there.
I know it's something simple, but how about the soft hands there on that fall third strike of Molina? You don't fidget, you don't jump at it, just receive it softly to get every kind of way to go in the direction of Kevin Siegrist.
And he holds the ball too.
Yes.
When you hold the ball, you give the umpire a better shot.
Susac started game 2, and Posey sat after being hit by a pitch on Friday night. And pinch hitting here. The 0-1. Now 0-2. He is 0 for 8 as a pinch hitter this year. With a changeup, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Got him.
Identical pitch against Susac.
So back-to-back strikeouts for Siegrist. We turn to our Budweiser player of the game, Jason Hayward, 3 for 5, triple, double, single, RBI, and a pair of runs. He is your Budweiser player of the game. Little chopper off the bat of Aoki. Wong charges. The Cardinals have a win here in San Francisco. They take 2 of 3, and they go 7-3 on the 10-game road trip.
One of the better games the Cardinals have played all year. After losing the first 2 games of this road trip, they won 7 of 8 after that. Good game today, and a big game. Of course, they're all big, but this one very important.
And with the win, the Cardinals pick up a game on Pittsburgh. They're now 4.5 games out. Chicago playing tonight, 10 games back. They'll be in Los Angeles. Post-game show. All the highlights comes your way next.